Hello lovelies, welcome to this channel once again. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. So if you are new here, make sure you hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. If you are old here, thanks so much for coming again. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a business card in Photoshop. So the first thing we do is we will set a new project, but I have my project ready. So I'll give you the size. It's 3.5 by 2 inches, and then you can click OK. Make sure that you have this in inches, right? So you click OK, and then you will have something like this. So I'll be making some references to this particular business card here, so that's why I've opened it. Alright, so let's get started. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of these two colors. That's why I have it over here. Don't worry about that. Alright, so the first thing that I'll do is I'll pick my rectangle tool, and then I'll draw a rectangle over here. Let me make it big. So I'll draw a rectangle, and I can press Ctrl T to transform this, and then I'll rotate it a little bit like this one. So you can scale it, and then you can adjust it to how you want it. So somewhere around this place, let me bring it back. So somewhere around this place will be okay for me, right? So I want to change this color to anything, since I wouldn't be making reference to that. So I'll press Ctrl J, and then I'll duplicate that color, or that rectangle, let me say. So you change the color, and this time I'm going to use this particular color over here, and then I'll drag it down somewhere around this place. So I think this one is okay for me, and then I maintain it here. Now I'll go ahead and make a duplicate of this rectangle again. Select a last rectangle, and then I'm going to change it, and the color will be this one. So I want it under this particular rectangle. That's why I have it here. So I can just push it out like this, and then I'll press Ctrl T to rotate it. So this is what I want. So I have something like this, and then you can position it very nicely. So the next thing you do is you select this particular rectangle, go to File, and go to Place. So the object that we are going to use is here. So I'll select this car, and then I'll right click and rasterize it. So I right click again and create a clip masking, so that I have something here, and then I'll press Ctrl T to just resize it to this point. So you can take your time to make the resizing anyhow you want it, right? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to File again, and then I'll place a second car over here. So just like we did to the first one, rasterize and create a clip masking. So that one too, you can just scale it out like this, and then you position it very nicely. So we have our first set done. So you can just select this rectangle, hold Shift and select the last rectangle, and press Ctrl G to group it. So if you hide it, you see that we have this whole thing hide. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some name to it. So I'll choose the text tool, and then I'll change the color to black. I want the alignment to be right, and the font, I'm going to use my favorite font, and then I'll increase the size more. So I'll type, since this is a tutorial, I can type anything. So name of company here. Alright, so you can position it very nicely like this, and then Ctrl T will help you to transform. Please keep in mind that Ctrl T will help you to transform anything, like the text and the image, anything will help you to transform it. So I have the text here, and then I'll add another text to it, and I'll say tag or slogan here. So I'll just select that text, and then I'm going to introduce a new font called Acrobat. At Acrobat, I want to use the bold one, and then I'll select all of these and select this particular thing over here. So I'll just open it up small so that I have something nice like this one. as you can see on your screen. So we have something nice over here. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to select the rectangle again and draw a nice rectangle, a very small one as that, and then we will change the color first to this one, and then we'll press Ctrl J to make a duplicate, and then we can change the color to this one. So we have the two rectangles set over here. You can choose to bring it down small. You take your time and you can do yours very nicely. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is on top of these rectangles I'm going to add another text. So I'll choose the text tool, and this time around I want it left aligned, and then I'll change the font again to Acrobat, and I'll use first of all the bold one. So I'll test anything like your name here, and then you can resize it small like this, right? And then you position it very nicely. So if you have your name here, definitely your position will follow. So you press Ctrl J to make a duplicate, and then you bring it down. So you press T again, and then you can change this to position here, and then you can select it and change this one to regular, and then the font, I think somewhere around this place we do. So you click OK to at least differentiate it from the first name or the name. So you position it very nicely, and you take your time to do the positioning very well. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add an eclipse to this whole thing, and then I'll hold Shift to draw the eclipse. So I'll change the color of the eclipse to my color right over here, and then I'll click OK. So you can press Ctrl T to resize it small or big. Yes, I think big. So make it big like this one, and then I'll go to my former business card, and then I'll select this particular thing. So I'll just bring it out and then position it very nicely like this one. So I have something here, then I can position it very neatly like this. Okay, so you take your time, and mind you can also download these things from Google. Just search for smartphone and you get something like this. So I have these two over here. I'll just press Ctrl and select the eclipse, press Ctrl J, and I'll make a duplicate of it, and then I'll bring it down and make a duplicate again, and then bring it down. So we are just going to change the things in it. For example, I have this smartphone over here, so I'll just delete it. And I have this smartphone over here, I'll delete it. So I'll go back and bring a servlet over here, and then I'll position it, and then I can just place it inside this particular eclipse. So I have something like this, and then I position it very nicely. So since this is a tutorial and I don't want to keep it very long and boring, that's why I'm moving a little bit faster. Please forgive me for that. So the last one will be the location, and then you can position it over here. So you take your time, and then all that you need is the basics. The rest you can do. I know you can do it. Yeah. So the last thing that we will do is add a text to it. So let's change the font size to about 12, and then we will add a text. We are using Acrobat regular, and the font size is 12. The color is black. So let me add a text to it quickly. So from there you can just resize it very small like this, and then you can position it here. I think this is very nice. We have something nice here. So after doing this, all you have to do is press Ctrl J to duplicate this, and then you can add your mailing addresses to it. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to select the rectangle tool, draw a small rectangle, like this, and then we will change the color to this color. We're going ahead to make a duplicate, pressing Ctrl J, and then we'll change the color to this one, and then we are going to resize it small, so we have a small rectangle like this. And then I'll make a duplicate again and place it here, so you take your time to position it, and then another duplicate and I'll place it here. So having these 4 sets, I'll just hold shift and select it all and press Ctrl T to resize it, and then I can place it very neatly at this place. So at this point, I think you are done with our business card, and this is particularly for transportation people. So after this all thing, you can go ahead and make any other changes that you feel like making it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.